So we've got an Audi A3 8P chassis that needs a timing chain. The value is past what we'd recommend it to be when we read our intake phase position and the measured values. So we're going to pull this apart and do a timing chain on it. So I've got all the under shields off, the wheel arch liner, and the crank pulleys off, and the bolts back in. And I've run around and undone all the T30 bolts that hold the timing cover on. I'm going to take this engine mount off as well from up top, and I've removed the boost outlet pipe down to the intercooler, the boost hose that runs across here also. The drive belt has been detensioned and removed. So we'll get that engine mount and the dipstick off, and then we can pull this cover off, and then we can pull the top cover and look at our timing chain. So we're back up top. I've got the coolant bowl stripped out of the way, still connected to the bottom, just plugged off with the vent line. The fuel hose I'm just going to work around. Washer bottle I'll probably take off, but it has also been previously just been filled up, so it's going to make a mess. I'll take this engine mount off now. Got all the charcoal canister up out of the way, the vent line for the evap into the charcoal canister, this small little bracket with the two 13mm from the chassis to the engine mount, and I've got all the bolts out of the cam variable valve timing magnet solenoid, so just the 16s and the 18s to do. Also got an axle stand underneath the engine, that yellow thing down there, with a lump of wood sitting on the sump, just so when this undoes we don't drop the engine. So yeah, we'll get that engine mount off and the engine mount bracket from the front of the engine, which is just triple square M12 bolts, and then we'll pull all our timing covers off. One thing that's worth noting on this car itself, it is a four-wheel drive, so this is a Quattro Audi A3, or the same would be if it was a 4Motion Golf or Tiguan, etc. I'm actually not going to lower the engine, or raise the engine I should say, too much, because we have the prop shaft still attached on the back, and if you go too high you'll put strain on the prop shaft, or you'll push all the heat shields into the transmission tunnel and cause a vibration. Same on timing belt jobs. So what I'm going to do is I've got my M12 bit into the top bolt, I've raised the engine a little bit, and I'm just going to use a wobbly extension to be able to get onto it without going too mad with bringing that engine higher, and hopefully that will allow us to keep that prop shaft away from the transmission tunnel and no strain on it. And yeah, also it's worth noting I have drained all the engine oil out of this, is when we pop that lower cover off it will drip leak oil past where that cover's now not on there. So that's it all stripped down. Tension is off as well. All the guides are off. I'm not going to be doing the balance shaft chain, there's not an issue with it. So this is the new tensioner, there's the part number for you. Hopefully that you can see it. We'll be putting that tensioner on and the chain and all the guides, and then getting it all put back together. It's the new chain. It's the old chain. See the deflection difference? The new one at the top, the old one at the bottom. The new one wants to stay straight, the old one wants to curve. So we're all timed up. You can see I've got an 18mm spanner on the inlet camshaft. That's how I manipulate the cam. I don't use the locking tools, but that's another story. I've got many videos on doing this job, so if you want a more in-depth walkthrough, then I'll link those below. Just look at the gold links or bronze links. They are lining up with my tyre marks. Tensioner pin is pulled. So we're ready. So we're basically ready to put this all back together now. The engine's all reassembled, back up and running. Prime the oil system, and it's all good to go.